Good morning and welcome to this week's Wednesday with Warbus. We're here at Altus Junior High and we're going to share with you some exciting news. As you know, Dr. Atlanta Mowdy received a DODEA grant for $750,000 for STEM things, and we're able to use those things with all kinds of all the different subjects, and so we're going to get into that today. But what we want to focus on is one of the things that was purchased were virtual reality goggles, and it's just very exciting. She had those at the most recent welcoming committee for Altus Air Force Base. So when they came and had their lunch or their dinner and got to visit a lot of things about Altus, some junior high students were there to show them, and I got an opportunity to wear the virtual goggles. I've never done that before. I got to visit a rainforest, and it was pretty amazing. So we're here with these students, and if you'll just tell us your name and your grade, and then we'll talk about how you've all used them. Let's start right here.
My
Your
name
name?
is Carter Parton, and I use these in my English and reading class.
My name's Kennedy Huckabee, and I have used them at the meet on Monday and in my English and reading class.
Awesome.
My name is Ronan McHugh, and I've used the virtual reality goggles in my English and reading classes.
My name is Emily Inglet, and I've used the virtual reality goggles in English.
I have Rebecca McCaslin. She's the library media specialist here at Altus Junior High. I'm very excited about these, and so kind of tell me what the first class was that used them, and as the librarian, how you utilize them for class.
Okay, so the first classes that came in was for research papers with our English teachers in the 7th grade. I came up with them, or I came to the teachers and asked them, hey, we just got these, I've been playing with them. Would you mind bringing your classes in? I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but can you be my guinea pigs? I was able to upload the topics for the research, and we had to dwindle it down because of time. So they came in, and the kiddos were able to do Trail of Tears, which was really neat, and then the Great Depression. So you got to see the 1920s and the Roaring 20s, where everything was booming.
Absolutely.
And then after that, they went to the 1930s right after that, and they got to see what life looked like.
So normally they come in and you teach research, and they're looking things up on the computer and in books, and
Yep.
now this just adds another level
Yes.
of what they get to do. To expand on it, and I think it's amazing. It's one thing to read it, look at pictures, but then to
Yep.
walk through it.
Yes. So I know for my experience, reading books gets you into it, but then watching videos and seeing pictures helps, but actually getting to walk through it.
Yeah.
I tell you, some of them were intense, especially when the reading classes came in, because they're reading the Devil's Arithmetic, and we got to do the concentration camps.
Yeah.
I seriously had to pull it off because I was crying, because just the in-depth of what everything looked like. You saw the whole entire camp. It wasn't just a building or one aspect of it. So that was pretty cool.
Well, I think it's interesting also because these kids, they've grown up with technology, and so their video games and all of that virtual reality, and this is so educational, but it's bringing it to their level, to their world that they're used to living in, and I think it's amazing, and I think it's just going to enhance. And I think it's so cool that it was used in English and reading first instead of science.
Yes, yep, and history is going to come in. We're going to do the Pyramid of Giza. So they're going to get to experience that and see what the tombs look like on the inside, but then also like the coffins. And so this can be used for anything. There's probably 20 files on Shakespeare alone that you can go in and look at.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it can, and there's things for, pre-K all the way up to high schoolers that could use them. So.
Well, I appreciate you being willing to be one of the guinea pigs
Yeah.
first at the library and just jump right in, because I know it's extra work, and you want to know more than the students, and so I appreciate the hard work that you've done to study to learn how to use them, and who knows where it's going to go.
Oh
so.
yeah, I'm excited. So I can't wait to see what else the grant has for us, so we can get some more toys to play with.
Absolutely. Thank you. Emily, tell us specifically how you used it. I think it was with a research paper, and what were you researching, and tell us what you liked about it.
I was researching on Mount St. Helens, and I got to learn a lot of facts on some different sites, and then I got to visualize it through these goggles in a better way, and it was just funner and more hands-on.
So you had different references, but one of your favorites was the actual
Mhm.
virtual getting to go visit
Yeah.
Mount St. Helens. Were you able to visit any other places?
I was, yes. I got to visit the Trail of Tears and the Great
what?
Depression. The Trail of Tears.
Trail of Tears, okay.
Yes. And there was Great Depression, and there was a moon landing and the Statue of Liberty. It was
Oh, wow.
it was very cool.
Okay. Tell us what your favorite part was.
I liked that you could interact with it more than you could just see on a site.
Right?
So I also
Because
did
you
my-
got to maneuver the site, right? Okay.
So I also went to see Mount St. Helens, and something cool was you could see the mountain erupting around you.
Oh, wow.
So and you could see the lava pouring down, and it was just very interactive.
Okay, cool. What about yours?
I visited the Gold Rush of 1849, and I liked it because you could move around and you go over a bridge and you saw people like shaking the gold out of the water.
Painting?
Yeah. And behind there was a cabin, and you could like go up the cabin and look at it, and it really looked worn down, so like how it was back then. And I just thought it was really interesting, and it was a really hands-on device.
What about yours?
I was doing the Transcontinental Railroad, and so for mine, like, I could like walk around like these people that froze in position, just like it looked like they were building a railroad that went over like a river, like on a bridge, and like across, and couldn't get outside the map, which was sad.
Couldn't get outside of what?
The map,
Oh, yeah.
the barriers. And so, yeah, it's like, it's just better than just looking at just a site, because you can actually see what it was like and not just have to imagine it.
Anyone else want to share something else that you thought of as we're talking? Another place you went, or more in depth of one of the places you talked to us about? I'm curious about the Trail of Tears.
The Trail of Tears. It was very snowy, or one of the parts that I was at. And when you walk through the trail, there was like animals, and there's footprints you could see. There's wagons, and
Were you walking with the Native Americans, or were they not there?
they were not there.
They were not there. Okay. Tell me, someone talked about concentration camps. Who visited that?
So I think
we all did
I
in
think
our
we all
reading
did.
class.
we're reading The Devil's Arithmetic and reading,
Okay.
and so we got to go see a concentration camp in the VR and see what it really was like, instead of having to
Wow.
visualize it in our minds.
I bet that was very moving.
Yeah.
Were there people in the camp, or just the camp itself? There were people. Wow.
There were people in the cabins,
There were a
and
Yeah.
yeah. So when you
Some
went into the
jail guard.
cabin, there was a guy, and he was looking down, and he was really upset, and you could see his face, and it like
He was like breathing, and
it
was
was
like-
breathing heavily. He was it was really moving.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad you all got the first opportunity to use them, and I think it's very interesting that you got to use them in reading and English as opposed to a science class, so that's awesome. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this time with the students and the amazing things that we've been able to do. Hopefully it'll trigger some of your minds, teachers, of ways you could use them or other technology, because we have this amazing grant, and we're in the process of writing another grant for another $750,000, so be thinking outside the box. I want to wish our junior high wrestlers good luck. They have state tournament this weekend. Also, our high school swimmers are going to regionals, so good luck to them. And our all-region band are competing this weekend. What a busy, busy time. I wish you all the best of luck. And as always, may God continue to bless Altus Public Schools.